Hi everyone, I am Onika, and if you follow my blog or any of my other social media channels, you will know that I travel a lot. I make anywhere from 10 to 15 international trips per year, and I always get people asking me how I afford to travel so much. If you follow my blog, you will know that I wrote an article some time ago which gave a very detailed explanation of how I can afford to travel so much. But for those of you who are more into the, how you say, audio-visual side of things, I have decided to make this video to answer your questions. Nevertheless, I will be linking to the article down below, and it's going to have a lot more detail, so make sure that you check that out. But yes, if this video interests you, or if this topic interests you, strap it in, sit down, relax, grab a cup of tea if you need to, and
let's do this.
Anyway, my number one tip in terms of being able to afford to travel more is to be flexible. Now, a lot of people tell me that they want to travel, but for whatever reason, they are not flexible either with their time or with the destinations that they want to go to. I have been able to travel so much simply because I don't discriminate in terms of where I go, and I'm also fairly flexible with my time. You will find that, if you don't care where you go, you can simply look up tickets and go to the place that has the cheapest airfare. And that's something that I've done on many different occasions. Contrarily, there are many places that I haven't been to because either it's really expensive to get there or it's super expensive once on the ground. One of those places is New Zealand. I would love to go to New Zealand. I think it's an amazing place. It has great scenery. I would love to see it in person, but you know what?
Them tickets cost a grip.
As such, I still haven't made it there yet because not only is airfare eye-wateringly expensive, but also costs on the ground are super expensive also. So instead of opting for really expensive destinations, look for those places where the tickets are really cheap, or alternatively, where you know that you won't spend a lot of money once you are there. One of the places that I've gone to in the past where I was able to get a really cheap plane ticket and also was able to, spend very little money on the ground because it's a cheap country is Guatemala. I spent 5 weeks there. I was able to stay in hotels, like private rooms, for $20 to $25 US a night. Basically, be flexible with your destinations and seek out those places that you can travel on a budget to. Also, make sure that you are flexible with your time. If you have to travel during prescribed dates, that's going to make it a little bit more costly. If you can play around with your dates when you are looking for transportation, so whether that's airfare or bus fare or what have you, you can kind of maneuver yourself so that you are paying less. Number two, take advantage of study and work abroad opportunities. Now, the bulk of the countries that I have visited, the bulk of the cities that I have traveled to, have primarily been because I've already been living abroad or working abroad. When I was younger, I knew that I really wanted to travel and see the world, so I basically signed up to go on a study abroad program during my junior year of college, my third year of university. I went to France. And this served a dual purpose. Not only did it allow me to, continue my education and live in a different country, but it also allowed me to travel around once I was already in France. I didn't have a ton of money, but I was still able to kind of hop around to various countries. I went to Spain during that year, I went to Morocco, I went to Portugal, I went to England. And obviously, once you're already, for example, in Europe, traveling to different countries in the region will cost you less. My third tip is being smart with your money. I am really, really good with my money. I'm really good at saving, and I'm really good at prioritizing my travels above everything else. I know that I love to travel. I know that it's a hobby of mine. So what I make sure I do is I regulate my spending, and I take my savings and I allocate savings toward my travels. If I really look at the possessions I own, or if I really look at what I spend my money on. The only things that I really have are clothing, because I have a little bit of a shopping addiction, and travel. Every month I get my paycheck. The first thing I do is I pay all of my bills in full. I usually keep my credit card at 0, and then after I've gone ahead and paid all of my fixed bills, I take another portion of that money and I put it into a savings account, and that is my travel fund. I would recommend that you write out a budget every month. You write out what your fixed costs are, rent, tuition if you're going to school, groceries and all of that. Then you figure out how much you will be able to comfortably save for travel every month and put it in an account and don't touch it. I really make sure to prioritize my travels. I have adjusted my lifestyle so that I can have more money to go out and see the world. I don't own a car. When I go out for dinner, I'm really conscious of how much I spend. Luckily, I don't drink alcohol, so I save a lot of money that way, and I regulate my spending. So there you have it. That is pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick video just outlining some of the ways in which I can afford to travel. Obviously, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that now that I've been blogging and vlogging for a really long time, I've managed to build a name for myself in the industry. And now as a travel writer and blogger and vlogger, I get invited to many different destinations. I either get paid to go visit certain places, certain destinations, and then produce content, or alternatively, my travel costs are covered. But long before I was going on sponsoring campaigns and being employed to travel, I was just like you. I had a passion for travel and I needed to fund 100% of my own travel. I am in a very privileged and in a very fortunate position in that I don't have any dependents. So I don't have any kids, nor am I financially responsible for my parents or any other family members. And this has greatly facilitated my freedom of movement, if you will. So I hope that these tips have been useful. Please give this video a like if you really enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also, make sure that you have a look at that blog post, which I'm going to link to in the description box. Simply because this was a very short video, I wasn't really able to go in depth, but the article that I've written goes into depth and has a lot of other links internally, which will give you way more information about how you can travel more. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you next time, and happy travels if you are on your way somewhere in the next little while. Bye.